else who made a video similar to this posted it at the end of December because they probably had their lives together. That was my plan, but here I am on the 2nd of Jan. Let me get my fan. Hello everybody, I hope that you are well. This is a video that I didn't do last year because I was right in the middle of posting my New Zealand road trip content and I didn't want to spoil the flow of that / just didn't have the time. This time last year, I had just returned or was just about to return from 18 months away from home. And I just felt really behind on everything. My YouTube in particular, there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to be doing that I just wasn't getting around to doing. But I did do a video like this 2 years ago, which you seem to have enjoyed. And so since I do have time on my hands this year, whether I'm organized or not is still debatable, I thought it would be a good idea to do a reflection and things I've learned and my travel highlights, and not so much lowlights, but things that I've learnt in 2017. And I'm going to start off with a highlight, and that was starting my year in Perth, which is something that I've been doing about 3 or 4 years on the trot now. Perth in their summertime is just absolutely gorgeous, and spending the time with my family was so nice, especially after so long apart. We did loads of fun excursions like going to Rottnest Island, we went on a wine tasting tour in Swan Valley and down in Margaret River, and took my sister's dog Bailey for many walks on many incredible beaches in Perth. Going there will always be a highlight, and I do consider it my second home, and I'm returning very soon. But then a low light, flying home from Perth. You may have seen this video, which is my 50-hour flight. It was an adventure. It cost me £250 to fly one way from Perth back to London, which I thought was an absolute bargain, including all of my luggage. But it would take me 50 hours stopping in Kuala Lumpur, Tehran, which is the capital of Iran, and Athens in Greece. And then London Gatwick. And to be honest, the flight itself I would probably do again. I honestly quite enjoyed the challenge and adventure. However, at some point along this long journey, at what point is still a mystery, my luggage was lost. I tried so hard contacting several airlines or anyone who could have possibly been involved, like who would have my luggage, anyone possible, but it was never found. Imagine that, a whole massive suitcase that you have packed full of stuff that you want to keep, gone forever. You don't even get to say goodbye. But yeah, that happened to me and it was a very big blow. Thank goodness for travel insurance, because I did manage to claim a lot of the money back, enough to basically re-buy all of my stuff, but it's not the same. Like, I had these one-off boutique play suits, like about 4 or 5 of them from Bali, and I can't just go and re-buy them again, can I? So yeah, that was really annoying. But then a highlight, coming home. Like I said, I was away for 18 months. My life was not together, I don't think in any way. And coming home for an extended period of time just allowed me to regather myself, regather my thoughts, have time to myself, have time to get on top of things. I stopped having panic attacks, and I really think that was because mentally I just needed a break. So, you know, once I was home, I managed to finish editing my New Zealand road trip series, which I'll link below if you fancy watching that. I started going to the gym, lost a bit of weight, got fitter, started to reteach myself good handstand practice and stretching practice. I had my hair cut, which was long overdue. I also had my hair dyed, I had my eyebrows threaded, I caught up with friends and family I hadn't seen in so long, and coming home was just the big refresher I needed to keep going strong in my life, literally. And you know, when a lot of people, when they return home from traveling, they're happy about it for a week or a month, but then they're absolutely craving to go away again. That was not the case for me. I was honestly just so happy and content at home for a long time. But it did make me think that I wanted to explore more of my own country and places in Europe that I hadn't been to yet, and being able to go on adventures but not have to travel too far. So the first adventure away was in February. Okay, I know that's not very long from when I got back, but it was just with my mum. I didn't film any of it, and we already had it planned from a few months back. We went on a skiing and snowboarding holiday in the French Alps in Teen, which was just delightful. I didn't film it because I was still in my period of getting on top of things, and I thought it would be really refreshing to not have to worry about getting nice pictures for Facebook or Instagram, and not have to worry about getting a good video. And I love creating content, don't get me wrong, but I just think that was a really refreshing break from it. And then the first documented adventure I went on was with my friend Annie in April, and we went to the beautiful city of Bath. We made a top 10 things to do and a vlog over the 3 days we were there, and honestly, that was one of my favourite weekends in my whole year. I did things I had never done before, like going in a hot air balloon. We visited one of the wonders of the world that is Stonehenge, and the weather was just amazing. But I think the most enjoyable thing for me was realising how nice this city was that was in my own country, that is only 2 hours from where I live. It really taught me that I do not need to be on the other side of the world to have a really great time and see some really amazing things. Now, I think there were two big turnaround points this year. The first came in April when I attended the Traverse Travel Conference in London. I'd never been to anything like this before. I had no idea what to expect. I knew absolutely no one else that was going, but I was excited to go with an open mind and put myself outside of my comfort zone. Believe it or not, I still get really nervous going to events and new places by myself, but I do think that it is so important to keep on challenging myself. It ended up being one of the best weekends of the whole year, and not just because I was overcoming the fear of going by myself, especially at the networking parties. Oh my god. So my manager said to me, right, you need to go to all of the parties that are involved in this event because they're going to be really good for networking for you. But imagine that, rocking up to a big networking event in London completely by yourself where you knew absolutely no one. So as I arrived, there was a guy standing there with like a bunch of Prosecco, and I was just like, oh my god, give it to me, because I was like, I really need to loosen up if I'm going to be able to do this. But you know what? That night I managed to meet some of the most awesome people in the travel blogging industry. My mind was blown and I was so happy. And then I got to hang out with all of those people and meet even more people across the weekend with all the other workshops and parties that were going on. Like, what a revelation. I was honestly over the moon. But what I did learn is that I need business cards for my YouTube. That felt very weird to me because backpacking bananas has always just been this fun on the side hobby for me. But suddenly, what? I need business cards? What do you take me for? Some kind of businesswoman? Off the back of the Traverse Travel Conference, I was very lucky to be selected as one of the influencers, that's what they call us now, to go on a week-long adventure and a mini conference on the Spanish island of Menorca. This I was so excited about because it was my first ever press trip, and I think no matter how big or small of an influencer or business person you are, your first press trip is always going to be just the most exciting thing because it's like, what? I get to travel for free? Mind blown. As well as Menorca being absolutely beautiful and we did some really cool stuff, for me, the most exciting part was getting to know even more of the other travel bloggers and vloggers and photographers and Instagrammers and YouTubers. You know when you meet someone and you might be quite different in a lot of ways, but you have one very unique thing in common and you just bond over that? That's what it's like. A lot of normal people in today's society still don't know what an influencer is, and it can be quite a hard time explaining that. But when you meet people who are doing the same thing, who understand your aspirations, and the kind of people who get excited to wake up at 6 a.m. because there's gonna be an epic sunrise like you do, it's special, and those are my people. And another thing to spin off from the Traverse Travel Conference was my first ever sponsored gig with Top Deck, which was just the most perfect partnership for me. I am extremely reluctant to work with brands because I want my viewers to trust my opinion and I want them to enjoy the content that I'm putting out always. And this Top Deck trip sent me around 7 countries in Europe over 14 days, which was crazy but so much fun. I made some genuinely really good friends on the trip. I think I went to 3 brand new countries that I'd never been to in my life before. And I made an epic video which I am so proud of and is actually now my channel trailer, so you can check that out if you haven't already. And after that I was just in a dream world because I got another sponsored gig with the Central American Tourism Board. Can you get any more perfect? I don't think so. Many of you know I backpacked Central America in 2015, so to be invited back to make videos promoting Guatemala, Belize and Honduras was just an absolute pleasure. I already knew that I loved the place, and actually when I went there on my own, I was gutted I didn't get to show off as much as I knew I could, so to get the opportunity to do that really made my heart smile. And finally, my last sponsored gig of the summer was with an airline, KLM. They sent me to Amsterdam for 24 hours with my mum, which was so enjoyable. And then the most unexpected place to go to this year, Aruba. I never really dreamed that I would ever go to Aruba, but when opportunities come your way, you take them, and I'm so glad I did. KLM set me with the task of going off the beaten track in Aruba, which I loved because it was a challenge and it forced me to extensively research the island before I went, and was even more curious about it when I was there. And legitimately, by the end of my trip, I was only there for 6 days, but I could have been someone's tour guide. I felt like I knew the island so well by the end, and that would have never happened if I had just gone and done what most people do in Aruba, which is sunbathe on the beach and go on boozy boat trips. So then I was thinking, you know, grand, I can relax now, I can make a bunch of videos at home that I've been wanting to film for ages. But no, there was no rest time. It was from September that my freelance video producing really kicked off, and I was doing about 20 to 30 hours a week for several different clients. And this was the second turning point in my year. Starting work as a proper freelance video producer and living from home, but being able to call myself a digital nomad because I can work anywhere, and start making a proper income again. Because earlier on in the year I was doing my YouTube full time, which was great, but I was not earning nearly enough that I needed to in order to be doing other things in my life as well as just traveling for free, if you know what I mean. Because what I was also realizing at this time is that even though press trips and sponsor gigs is absolutely my dream job and it's incredible, that is ultimately not the travel that I want to be doing. I didn't want to be only visiting specific travel destinations constantly because companies were sending me there. Even if I can make really cool content, which is great, and that will be my job, but ultimately I want to be able to have time and money to be able to do the things that are personally at the top of my bucket list. The stuff that I really want to do. And honestly, when I'm booking stuff by myself, it's so much more of a challenge and I'm much more likely to make mistakes, but guess what? That is where I learn. And that is the content that I really want to be making on this channel and sharing hidden spots which I have personally found. So to start earning some proper money using skills that I already have, that was just perfect for me. And so that is what I did for the next few couple of months and focused on saving money. But that's not to say I still didn't go anywhere and go on some of my own trips as well. I went on a week-long road trip around some of England and Wales with Tal and Jello, which was so much fun, and I daily vlogged for the first time, which was really challenging, but I'm glad that I persevered and did it for the week. And again, really great to see more of what we have in the UK. I went to go visit Sabina in Vienna. It was my first time in Austria, so that was super cool. And we actually also went to Bratislava for the day, which I said I was going to vlog. However, I lost the footage for Bratislava because I'm really organised. So yeah, if you were wondering where the Bratislava vlog went or if it ever came, no it didn't, and that's why, and I'm sorry. I spent a lot of time in London and have practically been living out of a suitcase, even though I've been living at home, because I've literally just been coming to and from London, and when I go to London I stay at friends and family's places. I now have so many friends there, and it's also just so great to get to know your own capital city a lot more. And then of course my most recent vlog, myself, Grace and Cheryl, the original Backpacking Bananas, got together for an impromptu trip to Copenhagen just before Christmas, which was dreamy. So this year has been really great. I don't want to say it's been the best year of my life because I don't think that's strictly true, but it's been a successful year and I'm really proud of where I have come. I would have not been able to predict this time last year that I would be in this position this year. I had no idea what was going to happen. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just returned from my 18-month trip, but to be honest, I honestly couldn't even give you the foggiest idea of what I think I'm going to be saying in my 2018 reflection. But I hope you enjoyed this incredibly self-indulgent video. If you are interested in what I have planned for 2018, that will be my next video. I have quite a lot of exciting stuff coming up, even in the month of January, which you will hear about. But anyways, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, everyone who comments, everyone who likes the videos, everyone who watches the videos. I love you. I appreciate you. You are literally making my dreams a gradual reality. Thank you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!